Yeah, you'll see it. Like,
okay. All right.
There's like a little app.
Wild stuff, and then again, sometimes it's just very simple. Sometimes
that sounds like a great way to travel. Like that, I'd never even thought about something like that. It's scavenger hunting while you're traveling.
I mean, you just got to be careful you don't go.
Well, because like some of them are really difficult. Some we've seen. Like I haven't seen it personally, but some of the ones that people come up with are just really intricate puzzles. You know, it's like there's a hidden button on a tree, and then something pops up. You know, and you know, they have people make mechanical things.
Yeah, they have one in England where you have to call this number, and it gives you a code, and then you have to go to this other place and use that code,
or you have to dive, and in the ocean.
There's some in the ocean. Yeah. That's the ones I want to go.
Okay. Like I said, this sounds super nerdy at first, and now I'm literally all about this. I want in. Remy, I'm going to add Angel to my Instagram so I can learn more about geo caching, okay? Just because now I want to go to Mexico and do this now. Like, I want to go to Cozumel, and I want to be like, look, Angel, look what we found.
I'll be like, oh, we're going back. That one.
I'm gonna leave this for you. I don't know. I'll leave like a gift certificate to like Jamba Juice. I don't know. It just me. I don't know if it'll work in Mexico though. I'll figure something out.
That's awesome.
Well, let's go ahead and get the show started, you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on my show. Top 3 new comic book day picks, and this is going to be for May 18th. Welcome to the show, my guests, Remy Q, Mrs. Angel Q.
Hello.
The Qs are in the house. Thank you, Remy. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
And Angel, a pleasure to finally meet you officially. I've seen your face all over the place, and now I get to talk to you directly.
Well, thank you.
So today we're going to be talking about our top 3 new comic book day picks for May 11th, 2022. Remy and Angel, you guys have already sent me my list. I told you guys, let's try to keep it separate so that way, you know, neither one of you two knows what each other is getting. Maybe you guys may get a book that you guys can talk about, and I'm going to tell you that. No, you didn't. Neither one of you guys chose a book.
It wouldn't surprise me if we did.
Angel, by the way,
I was excited because I was like, that's the right way to approach it with us. So.
Angel, by the way, has some interesting picks from other publishers that I've been curious about. Now, this is great time for me to ask her about them, because Zenescope is a publisher that I've seen, but I've never picked anything up, and you have a couple of picks from them. So I want to talk to you about them today, okay?
Well, I kind of was going for like a new, like they're all number ones, so I was kind of going for a new story to get caught up on. And I have watched a couple seasons of like I believe Van Helsing is also the Zenescope.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to kind of see where that they were going with that. And then I think Labyrinth 1. They just seem like very like mythological.
Wow.
Mythological kind of based. I'm just gonna make words up here. Like, you know, just sort of like the, you know, fairy tale kind of magic and, you know, fairies and, you know, just fun creatures. I like, you know, things that are a little bit off the beaten path. So
that's good.
I would give them a try.
Good. Awesome. We're going to talk about those right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the top, I don't want to say top 3 because this is really in no order. So we're going to start off with Angel. Remy, sorry. Ladies first, my friend. Angel. We're going to start with you. What is your first pick for New Comic Book Day, May 18th, 2022?
I think I want to go with Labyrinth, number 1.
Tell us a little bit about that, because this is like you said, these are all number 1s. These are all brand new stories. So tell me a little bit what captured your attention with this one.
Well, I'm sort of I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but that is like the first thing you see, and I just thought that cover was interesting. And so when I went to the synopsis, I was like, hey, this is kind of right up my alley. So, you know, she's kind of in the maze, and she sort of got like this, you know, Minotaur like adventure where she has to go into a maze to get a quest done. And I was like, oh yeah, strong female lead. That's always nice to see as a chick. Yay!
Representation. We need more strong women. We need more strong women in comics. And Wonder Woman can only do so much. Captain Marvel can only do so much. We need a lot more involved for sure.
And I feel like a badass sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And I probably, I can't even walk half the time. Like, I'll stub my toe walking out of the door.
So what Angel's talking about, her first pick is Belle Labyrinth, #1. This is written by Dave Franchini, arts from Jeff Spokes. Let me read the synopsis here for you guys. Legends speak of an ancient labyrinth, one filled with horrifying and deadly creatures, as well as the remains of the brave warriors foolish enough to trek its elaborate web-like corridors. Ooh, I'm going to change the voice here a little bit. But at the center of this dangerous network of blood and beasts lie the key to a world beyond our existence. And Annabelle, Belle DeMarco, is on a mission to scour this vast maze in search of a priceless reward. Getting in is easy, but finding her way out can prove more challenging than she imagined. Because she finds within might cost her more than her life, as her soul hangs in the balance.
That's a different kind of comic.
As her soul bangs in the balance. Hey!
Yeah!
Oh, that sounds pretty awesome. This sounds very familiar to me in the sense that it's mazes, it's labyrinths, it's old lore, it's fantasy. It brings so many ideas to my head. Of course, Labyrinth from the 80s, the movie with that comes up with David Bowie. A lot of like J.R.R. Tolkien, almost Lord of the Rings-ish type. This sounds super fun. I might jump in on this one also. I like this. Great choice.
Yeah, thank you.
I like this. You guys check it out. This one sounds promising. Mr. Remy Q, we're gonna go over to you. Saying this is the first time everyone. So anyone watching the show right now, this is the first time I've had a couple. I've had more than one guest, and I've had more than one guest on one camera. Thank you. To Mr. Remy and Angel Q, I really appreciate it. There's a lot of firsts going on over here. There's gonna be a lot of #1s in this. Plus, this is the #1 right here. This is a special edition. This is one that you guys want to. Maybe we should NFT this one. I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah. All right, Remy, you are next, my friend. What is your first pick? Let's go ahead and talk about your pick for New Comic Book Day.
First pick is gonna be Catwoman 43. So May 18th is my birthday, and I think that I'll just be honest, it's a cover buy. 100% Catwoman, Harley Quinn. They've got some knee highs and roller skates. That's my jam. And
like
so I was
Roller Girl.
I wasn't going to go that far, but yeah. So that's gonna again strict cover buy for me, and I'm into it.
Did she bring up Roller Girl? We're talking about Roller Girl from Boogie Nights.
I wasn't going to go into that far with it. Yeah, I think she knows there's roller skates. I don't have a roller skate fetish, if that's what you mean, but
yeah, but you have a roller girl fetish.
Whoa! Tell us more about this right here. I want to hear about
just
this.
The actress. He thinks the actress.
This has turned into something else.
Heather Graham. Look, Heather Graham in Austin Powers. Yes, Roller Girl. I can understand. I liked her a little bit more in Austin Powers.
I like Elizabeth Hurley better.
In Austin Powers?
Yeah. Of course, she was like the bad girl in the second one, right?
She was the fembo.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
Well, Remy went ahead and chose Catwoman 43. Now he's picking it up for the cover, but I'm going to read the synopsis right here. Written by Teeny Howard, arts from Bengal. We all have that friend we call when we want a wild girl's night out. I got one of those, yeah. And for Catwoman, that friend is Harley Quinn. It's a night of hip whips and hot laps at the roller derby, complete with the little road trip crime. It might even be the type of girl's night that gets sealed with a kiss. If Catwoman's allies back in Gotham can hold down the fort while the cat's away. Remy's not reading the story. It's all about the cover, so I get it. I understand. But if anyone out there is interested in Catwoman number 43, you got Teenie Howard writing this, and apparently she's doing a great job with a couple of her projects that she has with Marvel DC, because she's solely with DC right now. And so if you're interested, pick that up, at least for the cover, because Remy said so.
Absolutely.
Well, let me get into my first pick right here. So I'm usually more of an indie guy. I like all my indies. I stay away from DC. I stay away from Marvel. But this time around, I went with a DC pick. So my first pick that I'm going to talk about for New Comic Book Day on May 18th is Shadow War Zone #1, written by a slew of people: Joshua Williamson, Ed Brisson, Stephanie Phillips, and Nadia Shamas. Art from Trevor Hairston, Mike Bowden, Sweeney Boo, and Anne Molina. There's a whole lot going on with Shadow War Zone #1. Remy, Angel, are you guys paying attention to what's happening with the Shadow War series going on in DC right now between Batman and Deathstroke?
I have not, no.
Great. Talk to Mark from Legion of Comics. He'll let you guys know. Absolutely. He's the DC guy. He'll break everything down. But it's a crossover event right now that's happening in the Batman world where Ra's al Ghul's dead. Someone assassinated him in the in an old suit that belonged to Deathstroke, but Deathstroke saying it's not me. So now it's a whodunit. Everyone's after Deathstroke. Talia al Ghul is after him. She wants him dead, and it's bleeding over the Shadow War series, Batman, Robin, and Deathstroke. So those are other comics that I don't usually pick up, but I actually liked the beginning to this. So let me read a little bit about what Shadow War Zone's about.
Okay.
A special issue that showcases the spread and impact of the Shadow War on the DCEU or DCU. Talia al Ghul has put a hit on anyone who's ever worked with Deathstroke, and that includes Black Canary. Where has Luke Fox been? Talia is sick of watching from the sidelines and joins the battle herself, also featuring the new villain, Angel Breaker. Oh, Remy, you better watch out. What is her connection to Ghostmaker? So we're going to get introduced to a brand new character here in the Batman world with the introduction of Angel Breaker. Who is she and what is she doing? What is her connection with Ghostmaker? So if anything, even if you're not reading the Shadow War run right now, for all those collectors out there, this is the first appearance. We don't know who Angel Breaker is, and
she sounds awesome.
It sounds, yeah, she already, I hope to find this on your favorite villains list by the end of the year, Angel. Like, she has to be #1. You know, I'm hoping.
Well, you know, the whole interesting, Ra's al Ghul and, you know, Leagues of Assassin, that's just like a whole, you know, Green Arrow, that's kind of a whole, like, thing that has an interesting story.
That's a whole beast of a story. Like there's so much lore behind that. I just can't keep up. They're great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't read DC or Marvel because they're not good. In fact, it's just that there's too much of it. I just don't know where to start, you know. But because I read Batman consistently and I saw that this was a part of the Batman run, I was like, let me pick it up. And the first issue really grabbed me, like right there and then. So that's gonna be my first pick for next week. We're gonna bring it back to Miss Angel. Angel, what is your next pick, ma'am? What are you going to go with?
So my next pick, I think, is going to be the Van Helsing Bloodborne #1. I watched the series. I think it's on Netflix now. Netflix series. And so I haven't really, been into the Van Helsing. But again, it has a strong female character, which, is nice. But I don't really like horror stuff, but for some reason, to me, vampires and zombies and werewolves are not horror, and I'm like, yeah, I enjoy that.
No, it's not horror. They only suck blood and bite teeth and neck and leave totally bodies and corpses, and they jump out of the dark and out of the shadows. But it's not horror. It's fluffy.
Exactly.
It's pretty. And I think Van Helsing's also off of Zenoscope is another. It's coming off of Zenoscope. So there's a theme coming from Angel over here, you guys. So this is Van Helsing Bloodborne #1, written by David Wool, art from Dave Franchini. I believe that's the second time we've heard that name today. So you're like, it sounds like you're digging his art. So I like that. Synopsis. So who or what is Siphon? What does it want? And most importantly, can Liesel stop the mysterious new creature before it gets out into the world? Don't miss this bloody next chapter in Liesel Van Helsing's life. Ooh.
Absolutely.
That sounds crazy. It's another chapter, so it sounds like there's some other books prior to this we might need to dive into, but this is probably a good jumping on point for anyone who likes, Van Helsing. Awesome. This sounds pretty cool. Remy, we're going to go over to you, sir. What is your second pick for New Comic Book Day?
Second pick? Thor 25.
Thor. Oh, I like Thor 25.
This is going to be an easy one. Yep, absolutely.
I'm shocked.
Why do I pick it? Why wouldn't I pick this? Hulk and Thor. How many books do I need to show you that I'm a fan of this? This is like the most classic of all battles that you could ever want, that you ever wanted to dig into. I mean, it's some of my favorites, like all of my favorite reads.
They're always fighting.
Again, how many times have I picked up a book where it was Hulk and Thor, and fighting each other is one thing, but either one of them in some sort of epic battle, it's going to be something that I have to pick up. Yeah. So absolutely, I'm so excited for this.
They get in a lot of battles with each other.
It does. Bring it on. This is fantastic. Are you serious?
He's so arrogant, and Hulk is
These are like my two guys off the rip, and I'm so excited for this. Yes, thank you.
I love it. Look at, he's so enthusiastic. It's like he's 8 years old all over again.
This is what I was waiting for.
So are you reading the current Thor run?
Yes.
You are? Like, have you stayed from like issue 1, or did you jump on like at 20, or like how?
No. Issue 1 and going through. This is actually like for modern. This is where I have picked up for Thor in general.
I dropped off Thor like at 17. I'm like, there's nothing happening. Like it's okay. And then issue 20 came out, and everyone started chasing issue 20. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, okay, well, I hate when this happens, So this is also continued from Hulk versus Thor, Banner of War Alpha #1. I hated that name, by the way, when I read that. I'm like, Banner of War Alpha? What? Like, they don't sound as cool as like Shadow War Alpha. Banner War of Alpha #1. It doesn't come off the tongue right, But are you also reading any of the Hulk stuff? Like that's kind of going side to side? You are?
Yes.
And you see the lead up. That was
another one where initially I think everybody was kind of shaky on Hulk. But this is the build up. So I'm excited for this.
Nice. All right. Well, let me read this.
Is what I'm waiting for. Give me something. Give me redemption. That's what I want. It's like,
and that's what you want to see. You just want to see everything come back around and just like hit hard. Just like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for, right? This is the Thor Ragnarok of comics right now, right? It just seems like, okay. All right. So this one right here, Thor 25, continue from Hulk versus Thor, Banner of War Alpha #1, written by so many people. Donny Cates, Tom DeFalco, Nadia Shamas. That's the second time we've heard her name. Arts from Ron Friends, Simone D'Armini, and Martin Coccolo. Banner of War Part 2, the 60th anniversary celebration, and Thor and Hulk's epic rivalry continues in the second installment of the crossover between Hulk and Thor. Banner's newfound control of his rage is prolonging this fight more than Thor expected, and with Banner holding his own, Thor must get creative. Odin's breakthrough look into Banner's psyche seems to slow the violence, but will it be enough? Additionally, new creators to the Thor title bring glimpses into the possible futures of Thor and his friends. Sounds like multiverse stuff's happening right here. Sounds like there's other things being involved future-wise with this book. So it sounds interesting. I might need to pick up part 1 and now part 2. I might have to jump in on this one.
I think everybody should. Actually, you know what? Just leave it for me. Everybody is probably going to think You don't want to go out and get this. Send your copies to Remy Q Studios.
Follow Remy Q Studios on Instagram. Go ahead and give them your information right there. I like it. I love the enthusiasm that came from Remy. He was just like, "This is what I'm just."
He loves his Thor.
That's what I mean. This is what
And his hope.
about. Yep.
As long as I've known him, even
battle
when we
right
weren't
there.
collecting, it's always been Thor and Hope.
Yep. Absolutely.
Do you have like a poster of Vincent D'Onofrio as Hulk, like, or as Thor? Like that has to be up there.
No. Yeah, it's no.
That has to be something though. That has to be like printed and sent over to you. I don't know why. That's what I was immediately thought about. Vincent D'Onofrio as Thor in Adventures in Babysitting, and now I don't know why I have this overwhelming feeling now to send this to you for your birthday. I'll probably do that. Even if it's like a cutout and like happy birthday in crayon, like it's gonna happen.
That was amazing. When that happened, it was like, is he really Thor? Is he? I had one of these ones. I used to have one of those. Yeah, it was great.
Did what? The little hammer and then the hat?
Yeah, the helmet. Yeah, and he's like, here you go. I had one of these. Like, yes, it's real. It's real.
Something else to get Remy Q. Anyone who's watching this, remember to follow Remy Q on Instagram and get his information. That way you guys go ahead and just send out some Thor. All right, well, let me get into my number 2 pick. This is now the newcomer Tyler Burton Smith. Tyler Burton, Tyler Durden. I just immediately think about the guy of Brad Pitt's character from Fight Club. Anyone see that? Not supposed to talk about it, but
I was just gonna say the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Well, this is an image book right here about a detective that's going to everyone's dreams, pretty much stopping bad dreams coming out. Like, all right, you're cured, but there's a bad dream that has been following her around, and there's a mystery revolved around her missing daughter. This book is called Slumber. Have you guys read Slumber?
I have not, but I did see.
Have Slumber. We have not. I haven't dug into it yet.
Honestly, it's slowly becoming one of my favorite books. Now, granted, 2 issues in, it's way too early to be like, oh, this is a smash hit. But the first 2 issues were super, super interesting. You get into the main character, Stetson. She's the detective that goes into everyone's dreams, pretty much stops the bad dreams from happening. They charge a fee, yada, yada, yada. She's got this weird little creature that follows her around, which we're not sure if everyone can see her or if it's a figment of her imagination. So there's a little psyche thing going on here. But she found out in the last issue that there is something revolved around her missing daughter and one of the nightmares that has been following her. So this book has been really interesting since I first started, and this is one of those books I really want to push to everyone out there. If you guys can find like a number 1 and number 2, jump on it, because I think they're really good reads so far.
It sounds interesting. Of course, you had me at Creature.
It's different. It's definitely different. So written by Tyler Burton Smith, art from Vanessa Cardinale, she's also a newcomer apparently. Stetson and Jang enter Finch's dreams to stop a murderous nightmare from terrorizing Finch's mind. Finch is a character from the previous issue where this nightmare actually entered his mind and did bad things. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but did some bad things. And he's a detective, so it's not boding well for Finch. While navigating a trippy dream world populated with amphibious, amphibious, I don't know that word. It's a different word. Cave swans and reality altering streetlights, the team discovers they must face Finch's darkest secrets to reach their target. So while in the dream, they have to pretty much do battle with whatever's protecting their mind. Like it's a super fantasy world once they enter someone's dreams, and it's really cool visuals, very psilocybin-ish.
Ooh, nice word.
Yes, I'm not going to speak much on that, though it is decriminalized in Oakland. So anyway, anyone who picks up this book, I'm not saying take some mushrooms while you read it, but it's definitely a book that I really recommend a lot of people to go ahead and read. It's super fun so far, and I can't wait for number 3.
It sounds interesting.
It's super fun. I'm really digging it. All right, we're gonna bring it back over to Mrs. Q. Angel, we're gonna talk about your third and final pick. Talk to me. What is your third and final pick for your comic?
So my third and final pick is Rivers of London, Deadly Ever After.
Another number one. So what? You know, why? Why?
So I picked a lot of number ones because I'm just looking to get into some new stories and branch out from, you know, DC, Marvel, in general, you know.
I just wonder. I'm waiting. I mean,
well,
I don't know how far you're gonna go with this. What do you mean?
There's nothing wrong with DC or Marvel. If that's what you're saying. I just, you know, I just like it's. I'm very like into sci-fi. I'm very into fantasy, and these kind of seem to fit the bill of something. I really read a lot of books, and I thought, you know, this is kind of like what I would read in a book, and so I thought I'd try something different. Because right now I'm reading Black Panther, which I read the first one, and I have 6. Is it to 6 I have?
Yeah. And
I haven't read any of them. And then I started Twig, which I love.
Twig was very cute. I really liked Twig.
Oh my gosh, I love him. He's so cute.
He's very cute, yeah.
I would buy everyone just because he's so daggone cute.
She got every cover. We got to get all of this. So.
I love it.
Oh my god. Hold on. Did you show her the store exclusives?
No.
There's more?
No, there isn't. There isn't anymore.
No.
I'll find them.
We'll
I
talk.
will find them.
I'm not big on doubles for anything in my collection.
This is my collection.
Obviously, she's going somewhere different.
Well, because I just like I like the different.
I get a double, and I'm like, oh, this will be nice. I can pass this along, you know.
Maybe I'll pass it along.
She was very interested in all of the covers.
Twig was cute. Twig was very cute. But Rivers of London, this one sounded really interesting. When Chelsea and Olympia accidentally break in enchantment in the woods, deadly fairy tales from a mysterious old book begin to come to life. To set things right, Chelsea and Olympia must unravel a mystery dating back to the 1800s before they become victims of lethal sorcery. Written by Andrew Cartmel and Celeste Bronfman, art from Ben Aronovich. We're seeing a pattern here with Angel. This is super fantasy, like what she said, out in the woods. This sounds really cool. And when I not flipped through it, but when I saw the cover for it, this one really looked interesting too. And you sticking with your theme of fantasy, Angel, like this is right up your alley. Like this is pretty awesome. We're gonna need to talk more and figure out more fantasy type of comics, because there's Twig, like that's super fun.
Oh my gosh. So
yeah.
I like there's enough, like, you know, like with DC, they tend to be really dark, and I think there's enough darkness in the world. So sometimes it's nice to pick up just like a guilty pleasure or just like a fun read. And I want to see the good guys win every now and then, you know. And I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. The good guys might not win, but I'm hoping that they win.
I call that, you know, just nice and fluffy. Sometimes you just want something nice and fluffy.
Absolutely.
You know, like Wind, to me, like there's some darkness to it, but it's still nice and fluffy compared to other comics that are out there right now.
Right.
Twig is definitely like, I mean, it's very My Little Pony-ish compared to all the shit that's out there, you know. And sometimes, yeah, you know what, that guilty pleasure of just something just really chill, bright.
Right. Just a good, easy read, you know.
Yeah, and so far something that I feel like I can read with the kids. You know, unless I found out in the next issue someone's tongue got ripped out because Twig got pissed off, then I'd be like, this isn't for you guys.
I know we don't know much about him.
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for number 2 before I tell the kids, like, hey, let's go ahead and dive in this. You know, I don't want to find out someone's like, oh, kill this guy.
He's a homicidal murderer, but
what
it's all like fluffy.
You were so cute.
Because of life lesson, so.
No, it's like Stitch.
It felt like Stitch meets the Never-Ending Story.
Yes. Oh yeah, I totally talked about that because the guy was like, "These look like strong hands." The little mountain guy.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
I'm very sure that he took that. Those are strong hands that I couldn't save them.
Yes. The racing snail. Oh man.
I love it. Great pick. I like your picks, Angels. I'm gonna look into because it's definitely something off the beaten path for sure, and they sound super fun. Yeah. All right, Remy, we're gonna go with your final one. Remy,
my final was Spectro. It is Aftershock. It's a one shot, and I believe in the synopsis they talked about a sci-fi horror that was several stories. Kind of like a Creep Show or Tales from the Dark Side, and I'm always into those. Like, that's another one where I get excited about, like, just little mini stories that you put in there, creepy stories. Anytime I see any of those in a movie or a book or something, that kind of interests me. So I was excited about this one.
And it sounds like it's going to be on one of Aftershock's prestige formats too, like the extra size. Not exercise. It sounded like extra size, big size. That's what I was trying to say. Extra. So this is written and drawn by the creator Whatitdo. He doesn't want knowing who he is. He doesn't want nobody knowing who he is in real life. His name is Whatitdo.
Whatitdo.
For real?
Not That's John Doe, but who wants one? That we're gonna go with yes.
Okay.
That's what he wants to be known as, so we're gonna leave it at that. A quartet. Let me do this in my voice. A quartet of quintessential horse tales from the multi-talented Whatitdo, presented in a single prestige format. One shot. Spectro explores the unnerving spectrum of fear through 4 terrifying stories rooted in a cosmic game of twisted karma and phantasmatic terror. What is at stake when sentient technology manipulates a man with projections of his desired self? What are the consequences of excommunicating a member of the 9 planets? What is discovered when an explorer travels to Mars to ascend the tallest mountain in the solar system? And what happens when a scientist aboard the International Space Station is confronted with the most horrifying aspects of humankind? In what realm of fear do these stories exist, Spectro?
Sounds pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What are you reading at night, Remy? This sounds horrifying.
Dude, it's so crazy. The stuff he watches, I can't even.
This reminds me of Event Horizon. This sounds terrifying, Remy.
That sounds like...
I'm excited for it.
He watches, like, crazy stuff. And, like, I remember one time I watched Pet Sematary. I didn't even watch it. And my mom's like, don't watch it. You're at home alone. You're not allowed to watch it. You'll freak yourself out. And I was like, I don't know, 16. And just her telling me I couldn't watch it because it was so scary. I was like, I can't watch this.
Well, hold on. Which one, though? Was it the remake or the original?
The original.
Okay, yeah. The original Stephen King one, that was freaking horrifying.
Yeah.
Did you watch it at all? Like,
no.
As the years? No? Okay. No. Okay.
No, I was too afraid because my mom, like, don't watch that or The Exorcist. And I was like, okay, Mom. Okay. Just like, that movie freaked me out. And I was like, okay.
One scene, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to spoil this scene for you, Angel. But the one scene that really got to me was when a little kid took the scalpel.
Oh, and stabbed.
Cut right through his Achilles tendon. Mm-hmm. It was just gruesome.
Wasn't that the guy that played the monsters?
Yep.
Edward Herman?
It was not it was the dad.
Oh, okay.
What was his name? But yeah, it was the dad who played in the Munsters. It was Frankenstein from the Munsters. Yeah, that was like the most horrifying thing I've seen with that movie, and at that part alone, just like that, and when the kid.
I thought Zelda was weird.
Oh my god!
Sister, remember?
Oh god, the sister was so scary.
She was like, she was a scary secret in the back room.
But it wasn't her fault. It was like the family who kept her up there, and they're like, yeah no, we don't want you're this secret. We're not going to feed you for days. And she was just like, oh my god, stop! Don't look at me. And she was super scary. But yeah, you seem to like your horrors there, Remy, because this one sounds pretty scary. This book right here, Spectro, it's Aftershock. I might pick it up. I actually might pick this one up, but it's gonna have to be read like at 12 o'clock during the day with all of the windows open, so all the sunshine comes into the room. So that way, like if it gets really
wonderful
scary,
birds in the background,
beautiful birds in the back. We have this little bird cage that the kids put together, and it's like right by the door in the back. It's so nice because sometimes you'll hear it and it's tweeting away. I'll probably read the book there because I have a feeling that those birds will scare the boogeyman away.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We have invisible shields all around our house to keep the monsters away. So.
Yes. See.
I understand.
See, that's why Remy can read all of this. There's already spells going on at the house. I see what you're doing, Angel. I see what you're doing. Protect your man. Protect the family. Let him read his horror.
Oh yeah. One of the greatest inventions is monster spray. Like it's air freshener.
Go away.
Yep, and the kids are like, "Thank you."
That is so cute.
Oh, they're getting a little too old for it now.
Come on,
but
Mom.
I'm like, you shouldn't believe in monsters.
That's not real. All right, let me get into my final pick right here. This is also an Aftershock book. This has been deemed, and I've mentioned this before on some of my shows, but this has been deemed like the Akira of South Africa. Do you guys know the anime Akira by any chance? Yeah. This book right here has got very similar dystopian feel to it with magic involved. This one's called Land of the Living Gods. This is number 4. Remy, have you heard about this book by any chance?
I've heard about it. I have not dug into it at all, though.
Angel, have you by any chance?
No.
Wrong one. Wrong one. This one right here. This is by the same artist. This is Land of the Living Gods right here, number 1. This book right here is really, really interesting. It's about a girl named Naledi. She's an albino in South Africa. So we already know, in a lot of third world countries, would deem or see albinos as mystical in one way or another. And that's what they're doing here in this book. Naledi's got special powers and she can see the dead. She sees dead people. She sees ghosts. But this South African gang is trying to capture her because they feel like she has special powers. And in her case, she does. Mm-hmm. So they're chasing her and they finally caught her. Now it's about Naledi just trying to escape because, well, she doesn't want to die. Right. We don't want her dead. So this is the final book in this series right here, written by Isaac Mogajane, and this is art from Santos. As Naledi learns the truth behind Lutho's shocking abilities, Kalo starts executing a mysterious plan of her own. But in order to pull it off, she will have to confront the ghosts of her past and strike deals with people she swore she never would look upon again. Meanwhile, with her perceived powers slowly fading away, Shandu's witch, Baleka, sets her eyes on Naledi and the magical properties harbored by her various body parts. So this is all entangled in magic and South African lore. And I think this is really up your alley, Angel. This is probably something. This is something I would highly recommend to you.
I'll have to check it out.
There's a lot of magic lore and a lot of South African lore embedded in it. It's really interesting. Like the writer of this book really wanted people to read a fantastical book, but also introduce, South African lore to everyone and African lore in general, which I thought was really cool. I think he did it in a really good job where it felt more like teaching moments as opposed to them feeding it down our throats. Like, this is what this is, believe in this. It didn't feel like that whatsoever. It felt very natural. By Aftershock, definitely. I don't know if number 1 is easy to find because when it first dropped, it was going for a pretty penny. But if you can find number 1 out there, pick it up.
Yeah, see, I've always been into like mythology, different cultures. When I was younger, I wanted to be a linguist.
Oh.
And or like mythology.
A person of fine education over here with Angel. That's magnificent.
Alas, I can barely speak English.
Most Americans barely speak any English. We all have problems.
Well, and it's so funny because it's like with any language I've learned, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I tried to learn Russian, and I did pretty good, and I learned Spanish, and I did okay. But the problem is, if you don't use it,
you lose it. Seriously, yeah. My daughter, she's 12, and she had the tenacity to just pick up workbooks on how to speak Japanese, and on her own, she's speaking and learning Japanese for the sole reason of being able to watch anime in Japanese.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So whenever we go, we here in San Francisco, we have this area called Japantown. We like going there, and she'll read through the menu in Japanese, and she'd be like, oh, okay, this kind of sounds like what it's trying to say, but not really. And I'm like, oh, this is so awesome, dude. She's wonderful for that right there. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. It's so good for your mind too. I like Spanish because I feel like it's just, I think everybody should know another language. I just love all languages, all cultures. Like I used to grab books on like mythology and, Anansi and how the spider, whatever, got his legs, and like how the giraffe got its spots, just like, it's just something that always found interesting.
That's awesome. Well, that's it, you guys. That is our top 3 new comic book day picks for Remy's birthday, May 18, 2022. I want to say thank you so much to my guests this evening, Remy Q and his lovely wife, Angel. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
This is awesome.
The honor was all ours. This is super exciting. Thank you so much.
Do me a favor, let everyone know what you guys got going on for yourselves.
We have some ranting reviews going on. Tomorrow we have a new guest on Thursday. Let's talk about it.
Every Thursday we have our show. Let's talk about it. Should have a few more chainsaw unboxings coming up, so keep an eye out for that. And just normal weekly hauls.
I don't have to tell people who come on my show to watch this, but just in case, if you have not seen any of Remy's chainsaw unboxings,
do not try that at home.
You need this in your life. You need that in your life. You need to see a grown man open up a FedEx or a U.S. Postal box with that chainsaw.
Yeah, I got it.
I need to send you some stickers to add.
I need some stickers. Yeah, man.
That's the chainsaw you use. All right, Remy, Angel, let everyone know how they can find you on the socials.
Remy Q Studios on IG, and that's about it, actually. Then YouTube. Yeah.
Perfect. Again, chainsaw unboxings for anything, and then stick around for the Let's Talk About It. I was a guest on Let's Talk About It about a year ago. Don't find that one, but definitely look for the other guests. They're a lot more entertaining, trust me. It's a super fun show, you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks to Angel and Remy. Until the next issue.
Thank you.
Deuces.